What does it take to play 500 matches at the highest level and never lose control? No yellow, no red, not once. Is that just discipline? Or is it something deeper, something most men never learn? Because in a world where pressure breaks kings, this man walked through storms and came out clean. His name is Gary Lineker. But this isn't a story about football. This is a story about emotional mastery, the kind of power that doesn't just win games, but wins in life. Football is war disguised as a game. 90 minutes of chaos, men charging, elbows flying, fans screaming, and every whistle, a test of your temper. But Gary, he was ice. While others snapped, he stayed still. While others barked, he passed. While fists clenched, his mind calculated. Gary Lineker played over 500 professional matches, 3 World Cups, 10 clubs, more than 280 goals. And through it all, he never received a single yellow or red card. We've seen legends lose it. We've seen titans fall to the fire of the moment. But Lineker never even raised his voice at a referee. So what made him different? Was it just good manners? Or did he master something deeper, something rare? Because you can train your feet, but your emotions? That's another battlefield entirely. Gary Winston Lineker was born in Leicester, England, 1960. A quiet boy, a precise thinker, and most of all, observant. Where other kids chased the ball blindly, Gary studied the game like chess. He didn't just move, he calculated. But it wasn't just football he was studying. He was watching people, watching emotion, how anger made people reckless, how ego made them miss the pass. By 16 he wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the fastest, but he had something most didn't, inner command. He once said, "I didn't get angry on the pitch because I didn't see the point." Think about that. In a sport built on adrenaline and fury, he saw anger as a weakness. He understood what most don't. That emotion is energy, and if you don't master it, it will master you. A defender elbows you in the ribs. A ref misses a call. Your team is behind. The fans are hostile. Most men react. Gary? He stayed in the eye of the storm. He turned chaos into focus, pain into pattern, pressure into poise. He never dove to fake a foul, never screamed at a teammate, never lashed out after a rough tackle. It wasn't weakness, it was mastery. 1986, World Cup, Mexico. The heat was suffocating. The pressure? Even worse. Gary scored 6 goals that tournament. Golden Boot winner, England star. And still, no card. No complaint, just performance. That year he faced Diego Maradona, a genius, but also a firebrand. Gary didn't get dragged into the drama. He played his game. It's easy to act right when things are smooth, but real strength shows when the world is shaking. And Gary? He didn't just walk through the storm. He controlled the wind. Every man gets tested, not just by enemies, but by life. And Gary Lineker? He faced his battles where no camera could help him. Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs on earth. And now the quiet Englishman was center stage. But things didn't go smoothly. Language barriers, tactical tension, fans who didn't always understand his calm. He was repositioned, isolated, and yet he never raged, never lashed out in interviews, never blamed the manager. He adapted and scored 21 goals in his first season. While others pointed at the crowd, screamed at rivals, waved fingers at refs, Gary let his feet do the shouting. Criticism came. He once said, "Criticism is part of the game. You take it, you learn, you move on." How many men today scroll through comments, needing validation? How many collapse under words they've never earned? Gary faced thousands, but he was unmoved, not because he didn't care, but because he knew who he was. No man plays forever. Injuries crept in, but even in the sunset of his career, he burned bright. In Japan, his final games, still playing, still scoring, still clean. He could have coasted, but Gary didn't know how to fake effort. He only knew integrity. Most men, when the cheers stop, collapse. They lose their identity. They lose their way. But Gary? He just transformed. From pitch to studio. From goal scorer to thought leader. And here's the key, he still never played dirty. Even in media. No cheap shots. No clout-chasing outrage. He was always clear. Always calm. Always composed. He used his voice not to boast, but to build, to serve, to uplift. Because mastery doesn't end with a whistle. It becomes a way of life. They say the greatest victory is over self. And maybe that's true. Because Gary Lineker didn't just defeat defenders. He defeated his anger, his ego, his fear. That is a rare kind of greatness. So what does it take to play over 500 matches and never lose control? What does it take to face the roar of millions, the weight of nations, and still play with poise, dignity, restraint? It takes emotional fluency, not just controlling feelings, but understanding them. It takes knowing when to strike and when to stay silent, when to fight and when to walk away. It takes refusing to be pulled by chaos, refusing to be defined by others, refusing to be ruled by ego. Some players are remembered for their rage, some for their violence. But Gary? He is remembered for his composure. He is proof that being calm doesn't mean being weak. It means you've already fought the battle and won. Most men spend their lives reacting. Gary Lineker spent his life choosing. He chose silence when others shouted, respect when others spat, precision when others panicked. And now, years later, his legacy isn't just in goals. It's in how he lived, how he held himself, how he kept his boots clean, and his soul cleaner. Because true strength isn't just about power, it's about precision. True greatness isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, unbreakable. And Gary Lineker? He mastered the greatest game of all, himself. Master your energy. Control the room. Stay 10% strong.